Okay, everybody, Matthew back. Hope everybody's doing well. You might be able to tell by my voice I have a little bit of a cold. My wife had it last week. I was lucky enough to catch it this weekend, so I did not get to go to the Modelpalooza show. I've seen a lot of you guys' cars there. I kept hoping to see some videos, but I didn't get to see him. Usually Tom, Rainbow 69, he usually puts out a video, but I haven't seen one from him yet. Or Rick, or the Heartbeat Model Shop, he hasn't put one out yet either. I've seen Tom's cars, and I believe some Rick's cars there, but I didn't see any videos from him. I seen a little tractor like the one I just finished. So some of you thought it was mine that I was there representing. It wasn't mine. It was, I don't know whose it was, but it wasn't mine. It was a good looking tractor, but it wasn't mine. So I didn't get to make it. But I did put up a video that I had recorded previous to me getting sick. There was supposed to be more to go with it, but I come over to the bench, sit down, just put that up, and walked away, and that was it. But I'm still not feeling well, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna work on the computer designs and stuff today. I'm not gonna model because I'm trying to model when I'm not feeling good, but I'll show you what I'm gonna try and do. You see we had this part here done without trying to zoom in manually. You can see, if I'm my pointer here, we have a pretty well defined nut and bolt here. It looks really good. Then when I go back to this part, it looks like this has got like a rivet, two rivets here that hold it on to the frame, and I thought it'd be kind of nice just to get rid of that. Sorry, I'm kind of choked up, and put a nice maybe a bolt head there with a washer on it. And then maybe on the inside of the frame I could put a nut with a bolt sticking through it, kind of like this other piece here has on the inside of the frame. And of course none of it may even show up. You may not never even see it, but I'll know it's there. And then the piece back here, which I have no idea what it is. I know there's supposed to be a bolt on the end, and I don't know if you're supposed to mimic rubber or, you know, some of you guys I'm sure know what it is. I mean, but it's kind of oblong. It looks like an egg if you look after the end. So I'm going to cut that off, and I'll just design me some new ones and print those out along with the parts for this. I have already printed out some bolts that I've used on previous motors, but I'll use those. I use those on the motors to put in things. So I'm going to print out some like bolt heads, just bolt heads for here with washers, and then the nuts, and with like a bolt coming through with some washers for here, and I'll print that out. So I'm going to design on that today. And you can probably see here where I've done some work. They had a injector pin mark on the inside of these. Well, it was on the outside, I'm sorry. It was on the outside, it showed here. I don't know why it was on the outside where it would have been seen, but it was in between these rails. And then they had an ejector pin mark here where it fastened, which was a raised injector pin mark where it fastened onto the frame, so I had to get rid of that. And I'm not sure why I have glue in here, but you know, of course I'll cover up with the primer. So that's what I'm going to get into today. And depending on how I feel, I may go ahead and clean up this rear end. And somehow during the gluing process, this piece here got shoved over, and when I tried to straighten it, of course it just broke. So I'll get that fixed, and then we'll make some more bolts, and I'm going to take these off. So I'll make some more of the size of this and some of the size of this to make them a little more defined. So I'll take these off and put new ones all the way around there and make them a little more defined. And of course those may be seen then. I mean, it's nice to have these on there, but there's no way to actually really pick those out, whereas I can paint them and then put them on afterwards. And I'll just go through and snip them off with a razor blade and then just, pop them on there. A lot of times I'll just drill a hole right down through the center of them and then pick the rest of it off. That way I know if I put my new one right over the center of that hole, I get them right back where they were. I don't have to try and guess where they were. So, and then of course some of these others have bolts as well, which could be redefined. I mean, I don't know how many different size nuts and bolts we end up having to make today, but I can get them all. I make tons of them. I had a card here. Well, the bolts I printed for the motor, I printed 2,500 at one time, so that's like 15 years worth for me. So I could probably print the small as these are. I could probably get 2,000 of 2, 4. So I could probably do 12,000 or so at one time. Do like 2,000 of each size. So this should last me quite a long time. And just put them on a little card and have the little cards lined up on my plate. So, alright, that's enough rambling. I'll come back and show you what I've got. Trying to make the video too long. Thanks, guys. Okay, so we're back. And you may have to bear with me because we may have to do some manual zooming here. I don't know if this thing will zoom in or not. I went ahead and drilled the hole for one of these. Left the other one with the rivet in it. I printed out, this is half the card of bolts. Well, actually I just wanted the nut, but I put in and put a bolt on the end of it. I'll zoom in. Just for the printing purposes. But you can see it's got a washer, but I made the washer a little bit too small. I should have made it a little bigger. So this is half of the card, and then the other half of the card is in the bag over here. I've got labeled what size everything is. And that's 200 of them. So I have it here laying. So if I take it, put it in the hole, push it down, you can see it adds. Get to zoom in here. I don't know what's on my hand, but I don't know why this thing's not zooming in anymore. There we go. So that adds pretty decent detail to it. And then once I get it glued in place, I will just snip off the back side, sand that flush. And of course it's not zooming again. That's going to be my downfall. And then I'll paint this before I put it in. And that way it'll be a good, I'll probably do steel to put it in. And then you can see I already have the little nibbit here on the end of this one is already cut off. I printed new ones of those. And again, they're on a card. This is half of the card. So we printed out. Again, I put a piece on the bottom of there. I drawed all the little bottoms. This was all designed onto it. So it was all printed off on one card. So just snip that bottom off. And it's got a little bolt head on it. It doesn't really show up too well until you paint it. Then it shows up pretty nice. So once I get it put in place, I'll paint this too before I put it on. So I have black and steel on it. Then it should show up. Once the focus, and then it goes away. But it should show up pretty nice. Looks a little better than what was there. So sorry it's not focusing in real good, guys. And then of course I have the other sizes already printed up for, of course you can see there's different sizes here. I've done it all one time on one print for the bigger and smaller on this part. So I got one size bolt for here, one size for here. So we'll do those. So I went ahead and done. I'm going to redo these as well on here, and as well as on, I think it was on these. I was going to redo these as well. Let's see, I think that was all I was redoing them on so far. And I had some ones that had already been previously made, bolts. So if I ran into something else, and if I ran into something else, I'll print some more. So, alright, I'll put this together with that little video and probably make that as one video. If I don't lose these little parts, but I got more. Okay, guys, bye.